Hello, editing note real quick. Don't worry, this is not the quality of the video. I just wanted to take a second to say before it starts that it was obviously filmed right before Christmas and I did not get it up in time for Christmas, obviously. So you can just ignore that aspect or lean into it. Why not keep Christmas rocking into January? Either way, I hope you still enjoy it because it was super fun to make. Okay, back to the video.
Millennial Christmas mornings were often a treasure trove of the era's defining toys, gadgets, and games that not only paved the way for modern technology, but also mirrored the generation's characteristics. Known for their adaptability and tech fluency, millennials delighted in interactive and digital playthings, like gaming consoles, which now shape their fondness for innovation. This generation's experiences are interwoven with the evolution of play, from basic handheld devices to intricate virtual worlds, reflecting their comfort with change and complexity. Moreover, the cherished collectibles of their youth, such as Beanie Babies and Pokemon cards, showcase their connection to community and shared experiences. Traits that continue to influence their social interactions and collective identity. And when it comes to Christmas, the millennial experience was a special one. It was a vibrant mix of tradition and technology. And that's not to say that other generations didn't have a special or great Christmas experience. Let me just say that now. I am a zillennial. I believe that's what it's called. I was born right on the cusp between the two generations. So yes, I do have a bias, but I'm not one of those weirdos who likes to bash the younger generation just because. And I don't make those bizarre assumptions like Gen Z's never seen a CD player or Gen Z would rather burn at the stake than wear skinny jeans. There are Gen Zers that are over 25 now and they relate more to the millennial experience rather than the Gen Z experience. And as for the children, I believe Gen Alpha is going to have the coolest, most unique type of Christmas experience. Something wildly different than every other generation before. I'm really excited for Gen Alpha. But yes, I am a zillennial, and if you know anything about a 90s baby, you know that we love our nostalgia. And for me personally, nothing stirs nostalgia quite like Christmas does. Christmas was a time of eagerly flipping through toy catalogs and watching Saturday morning commercials to scope out the latest toy trends. The festive season was marked by the excitement of unwrapping a coveted Tamagotchi or Beanie Baby, the family gatherings illuminated by the glow of a new Nintendo console, and the jingles of holiday specials that brought everyone together. It was a blend of the old and the new, where timeless rituals met the burgeoning digital age, creating a holiday experience unique to millennials. So here I am, festive and nostalgic and drinking virgin eggnog, ranking 30 of the most spectacular throwback millennial Christmas gifts / toys. And this is all based on my personal opinion, of course, but I am attempting to be as unbiased as possible. This is all based off of my personal opinion, of course. But even if I wasn't whipping Beyblades, which I was, I definitely know what gifts are more goated than others, even if they may not be my personal favorite. And I had a very hard time narrowing it down to 30. I was attempting to go for 20 or 25 and I just couldn't do it. So I'm aiming for this video not to be 9 hours long. So I'm going to attempt to avoid any rabbit holes, which if you've seen any of my videos, you know that that's a very difficult task for me. So I'm not recording this until 2024. And with all that said, let's start with number 30, Tech Decks. These Bad Larrys are miniature skateboards that can be manipulated with fingers to perform skateboarding tricks, and they surged in popularity in the late 90s and early 2000s. Their appeal was tied closely to the skateboarding culture, which experienced a renaissance during that time. Kids and teens admired pro skaters and embraced the skate lifestyle, and tech decks allowed them to replicate complex skate moves on a smaller scale. They became a popular collectible due to their detailed graphics, replicating real skate brands, and their pocket size made them a common sight in schoolyards and a trendy stocking stuffer during the holiday seasons. Number 29 is another gift related to skate culture. The ripstick. This two-wheeled, pivoting skateboard gained popularity in the mid to late 2000s, riding the wave of extreme sports enthusiasm. It was known for its unique twisting motion, which propelled riders forward without pushing them off the ground, appealing to both skateboard enthusiasts and those looking for a new way to ride. The ripstick became a sought-after item, especially among preteens and teenagers. Its distinctive design and the skill required to master it made it a common feature on Christmas wish lists, adding to the appeal with vibrant colors and special editions. Number 28 is a personal favorite of mine, hit clips. Hit clips were a music phenomenon in the early 2000s, providing a novel way for kids and teens to listen to snippets of their favorite songs. We didn't have an iPod. Our CD players, if we were lucky enough to have them, were very large, very bulky, and always skipped. So hit clips were incredibly cool, even though it was just a snippet of a song. These tiny, portable media players could play minute-long clips of music, and they became really popular for their collectability and trendiness. With the ability to easily clip onto backpacks or clothing, hit clips were a status symbol in playgrounds and schools, reflecting the era's pop culture and the emerging trend of personal portable music before the widespread adoption of MP3 players and smartphones. I loved my hit clips. Between the hit clips, and I also had the hit clips at the same time that 8701, the Usher album, came out. And between those two, I was very annoying. I made it my entire personality. I remember so clearly sitting in the corner of my room, a first grader, just vibing to You Got It Bad as if I could relate in any way at that time. Number 27 is Techno Dog. The Techno Dog, introduced in the early 2000s, was part of a wave of electronic pets. It was a weird time that became popular as high-tech alternatives to traditional plush toys. It appealed to children who wanted a pet but couldn't have one due to allergies or housing restrictions. Featuring robotic moves and sounds that mimicked a real puppy's behavior, Techno Dog could respond to voice and touch, making it a fascinating and interactive toy. It became a very trendy gift as it showcased the novelty of pet ownership without the responsibility, fitting perfectly into the tech toy trend of the era. Number 26 is LeapPad. LeapPad, introduced by Leapfrog in 1999, quickly became a prominent educational tool for children. Its interactive books and cartridges offered a fun, engaging way for kids to learn reading, math, and other skills, making it both a toy and a learning device. In the 2000s, the LeapPad's technology was groundbreaking, and it became a very popular Christmas gift, appreciated by parents and children alike for its educational value. Its success led to various updated versions and expansions of the LeapPad library, keeping it popular throughout the decade. I still remember shit I learned from my LeapPad. I still get that anatomy song stuck in my head every so often. You know, the fibula connects to the metacarpal. The metacarpal connects to the phalanges. That's probably not how it goes, but that is definitely the melody. I also know how to say computer in Japanese, I believe, because the audio for that was just completely outrageous. Computer wa haimasu. Just call me Mr. Worldwide. Number 25 is Polly Pocket. Polly Pocket, where to begin? Miss Polly originally was popular in the 90s for its compact, portable dollhouses, and of course, miniature dolls, and retained its charm into the 2000s with new designs and themes. The brand underwent a significant redesign in the early 2000s, introducing a larger Polly doll with a more fashionable look to appeal to the contemporary market. These updates, coupled with robust marketing campaigns and tie-ins with popular culture, helped Polly Pocket remain a popular choice for children's gifts during Christmas and truly throughout the whole year. Number 24, Dance Dance Revolution. In arcades and homes alike, DDR became a cultural phenomenon starting in the late 90s and peaking in the 2000s. The rhythm and dance game was popular for its active gameplay, which required players to step on a dance pad in time with music and on-screen prompts. Quick side note, I am probably the worst ever at Dance Dance Revolution. I just feel like that's really important for you to know. Anyways, it appealed to a wide audience, from casual players to dedicated fans, very dedicated, who enjoyed the physical challenge and the social aspect of dance-offs. DDR machines were a staple in arcades, and the home versions were often released around Christmas, becoming a sought-after gift that promoted fun and fitness. Number 23 is number 1 in my heart. My poor short-term memory and lack of focus made me abysmal at this game, but I played my heart out. I really did. I tried. Number 23 is Bop It. This handheld game, famous for its catchy commands and reflex testing gameplay, gained widespread popularity in the late 90s. Its simple concept, bop it, twist it, pull it, coupled with the increasing challenge as the game progressed, made it addictive for both kids and adults. The game's success led to several updated versions throughout the 2000s, keeping it fresh and relevant, but nothing hits quite like the OG Bop It. Bop It became a popular gift during the holiday season because it was suitable for single players, parties, and family gatherings, making it a staple of interactive and active play. Number 22, Care Bears. Care Bears saw a resurgence in popularity during the early 2000s with the launch of a new television series and movies that introduced the colorful characters to a new generation. These cuddly toys, emblazoned with individual symbols on their bellies, continued to promote themes of caring and emotional expression. During the 90s and 2000s, they became popular Christmas gifts, partly due to parents' nostalgia and the brand's updated media presence, securing their status as beloved mainstays in the world of children's toys. Number 21 is the Bratz dolls. Bratz dolls emerged in the early 2000s as a major competitor to the Barbie doll, quickly becoming a cultural sensation. With their distinctive fashion-forward aesthetic, diverse characters, and focus on friendship, Bratz captured the imaginations of a generation looking for alternatives to traditional dolls. The dolls' popularity soared due to their unique features, accessories, and the lifestyle they represented, making them a common holiday season gift and a staple in the toy industry of the 2000s. Jade was that girl. Okay, no argument there. But I wanted every Bratz doll. Those little collectible ones that came in the Happy Meals at McDonald's, I wanted all those too. And also the Wild West one, which is worth like $1,000 now if you still have it. Also the movie, Starring and Styling, I believe it's called. That was my childhood comfort movie alongside Fiddler on the Roof. Yes, two totally different avenues there, and also Sky Dancers, but I think that was more of a show. I think of it as a movie because I had it on that little baby blue VHS. I trailed off again. Circling back to Bratz, I remember when I got the Bratz dolls, Barbie became the mom. She was boomer, she was baking cookies in her gingham apron in her Malibu house. Meanwhile, Sasha's doing fucking nose rolls in Aspen with glitter eyeshadow on and a belly shirt. Bratz were the coolest. Oh my god, you know what I just remembered? The Flava dolls. How? Oh my god. And the commercial with that theme song, it was all just so cringe before I even knew what a cringe was. Just yikes. Moving into the top 20 now, starting with the Star Wars Force FX lightsaber. The lightsaber pandemonium was fueled by the release of new Star Wars films and the enduring popularity of the franchise. These lightsabers were not just toys, but also collectibles, featuring motion sensors, sound effects, and light up blades that mimicked the iconic weapons from the movies. Their appeal to both children and adult collectors, combined with the excitement surrounding the Star Wars prequels, made them a sought-after item at Christmas time, often becoming the centerpiece of many fans' collections. Number 19 is Heelys. If for some reason you don't know what a Heely is, they are sneakers with a concealed wheel in the heel, and they burst onto the scene in the early 2000s, rapidly becoming a craze among kids and teens. They uniquely blended the line between footwear and ride-on toy, allowing wearers to seamlessly transition from walking to rolling. This novelty, along with the aggressive marketing, and of course the whole cool factor of effortlessly gliding across surfaces, made Heelys a very popular Christmas gift and a symbol of early 2000s youth culture. Their popularity peaked mid-decade, but they have since maintained a niche following. I actually bought my partner, who was a grown-ass 22-year-old man, a pair of Heelys, and I don't think I have ever seen him happier. So the Heelys continue to bring joy to millennials well beyond their childhood. Number 18, the Easy Bake Oven. The Easy Bake Oven, first introduced in the 1960s, maintained its popularity into the 90s and 2000s, serving as an enduring favorite among aspiring young chefs. Its simple yet effective design allowed children to bake small treats with a light bulb's heat. Over the years, the Easy Bake Oven adapted to modern safety standards and culinary trends with new models and updated food mixes. It was a very common Christmas gift that combined the joy of play with the real-world skill of baking, encouraging creativity and independence in the kitchen. This was one gift I wanted so bad. I don't think my parents thought it was wise to let little hellion me own and operate a cheaply made oven. And they were onto something, because those things were ridiculously dangerous. I remember there was a kid who had such severe burns from it that her finger actually had to be amputated. There were a ton of other horrific stories, but for kids at the time, it was just an iconic gift. Number 17, the Hot Wheels track. These track sets, which often featured elaborate loops and jumps and high-speed races, appealed to a broad age range, from young children to collectors. The brand's commitment to new and innovative track designs kept Hot Wheels relevant and popular, with many sets being featured as exciting gifts during the Christmas season. Hot Wheels' combination of collectability, affordability, and the thrill of racing ensured their persistent popularity. I don't know if they all did this, but my cousins had the track where you would rev it up and then it would just... I have no idea how to explain the specific functions. I just know that those cars never stayed on the damn track. At best, they flew off mid-loop. Honestly, you know what I liked playing with more? Those car mats. Number 16, American Girl dolls. American Girl dolls gained prominence in the 90s and continued their popularity into the 2000s, known for their unique combination of storytelling and play. Each doll came with a distinct historical background, educating children about different periods in American history. These dolls became more than toys. They were a way for children to engage with and learn about history in a personal and interactive manner. The brand expanded its line to include contemporary characters and issues, maintaining relevance and popularity. Their high quality and educational value made them cherished gifts under the Christmas tree. I mentioned this in my Barbie Renaissance video, but I would spend hours looking at these catalogs. That was the closest I was ever going to get to an American Girl doll. When I showed my dad the $200 Josephina doll that I wanted and the $200 bedroom set to go with it, he laughed in my face. Number 15, Furby. Furby, launched in 1998, was an immediate hit. With its ability to learn languages and interact with users, setting a new standard for what a toy could be. Its endearing appearance, to some, I'm being very unbiased here, and innovative AI captured the imagination, making it a must-have toy and a dominant presence under the Christmas tree. The original Furby's popularity extended into the early 2000s, with new versions released to refresh its appeal. It became a symbol of the era's fascination with electronic, interactive toys. Furbies were so creepy. They were not my favorite, but I know they were so popular. I actually think I have one around here for some reason. I just remember walking by the Furby as a kid and it would fucking start blinking and yapping out of nowhere, and it scared the shit out of me. Number 14 is Light Bright. Light Bright, an illuminating toy that allowed children to create glowing pictures using colored plastic pegs on a backlit screen, remained popular in the 90s and retained a nostalgic charm into the 2000s. It was celebrated for sparking creativity and visual planning. While new forms of electronic entertainment emerged, Light Bright's simple joy of creating light-up art made it a beloved activity toy. Its appeal as a creative and somewhat educational toy ensured it continued to be a desirable item for gifts during the holiday season, fostering a blend of artistry and play. Number 13, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. TMNT toys were incredibly popular in the early 90s, following the success of the animated series that began in the late 80s. The action figures, play sets, and vehicles dominated toy shelves and were go-to gifts for children during that period. Although the initial craze tapered off towards the late 90s, the franchise saw a resurgence in the 2000s with new television series, films, and a renewed toy line, once again making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a prominent feature on holiday wish lists and reaffirming the brand's lasting appeal. I already said Bop It was number 1 in my heart, didn't I? Well, bump it to number 2, because number 12 is the greatest Christmas gift I have ever received. Number 12, the Razor Scooter. This scooter became a cultural phenomenon in the early 2000s. It was introduced in the year 2000 with its sleek design and foldable mechanism. Oh my god, it was an instant hit, offering a new mode of transportation that appealed to both kids and teenagers. Its portability contributed to its widespread popularity, becoming a very common sight in neighborhoods. Razor scooters were often at the top of wish lists, and they became synonymous with youth culture at the turn of the century, leading to enduring popularity that has lasted well into the 21st century. I had the one with the blue wheels, and I felt oh so Pimp Daddy Mac riding that bad Larry down my road. And I couldn't ride a bike at this point, and this scooter was pivotal because all my friends could ride bikes and I would be left in the dirt. Joke's on them, because after I got my Razor scooter, my mode of transportation was way more badass. Number 11, Tamagotchi. The Tamagotchi was a defining toy of the late 90s, igniting that craze for virtual pets. Launched by Bandai in 1996, these egg-shaped keychain devices simulated the experience of raising a pet, requiring feeding, cleaning, and attention, captivating children and adults alike. Their popularity made them a common holiday gift, with special editions often released around Christmas time. While the fervor decreased in the 2000s, Tamagotchis enjoyed periodic resurgences of interest and remain a nostalgic hallmark of 90s pop culture. Here we are, starting the top 10, and it's a big one. Number 10, Pokemon cards. The Pokemon trading card game, introduced in the late 90s, quickly became a staple of schoolyards around the world. The cards were more than a game, they were a cultural phenomenon, with children eagerly collecting, trading, and battling with them. Their popularity made them a highly sought-after item for holidays, with special edition sets and rare cards being especially coveted. The enduring appeal of the Pokemon franchise ensured that the cards remained popular into the 2000s and into the 2010s and now into the 2020s, bolstered by continuous releases of new expansions and the introduction of Pokemon into other media like video games and TV shows, and more recently, phone applications. Perhaps you've heard of Pokemon Go. I was so lucky. I actually grew up in an apartment right next to a mom and pop card shop. And anytime I got any change from doing a chore or whatever, I booked it to the card shop to buy more Pokemon cards to add to my collection. That's when the cards were like 25 cents to $1 maybe. Oh, I had a binder full of cards, rare cards too. I was very proud of my collection. It took years to build, and that binder would have set me for life if I wasn't a dumbass kid who lost it somehow. Number 9 is Play-Doh. Play-Doh's prominence and popularity persisted in the 90s and 2000s as a creative staple for children's arts and crafts. Its safe, non-toxic formula and vibrant colors made it a hit among parents and educators. During these decades, Play-Doh expanded its range with themed playsets, tools, and accessories, allowing kids to craft everything from whimsical shapes to elaborate scenes. The brand's adaptability and the product's tactile play experience ensured it remained a classic to this day. Everybody loved Play-Doh. It was a fun activity, a stress reliever, a great little salty snack. It was, and still to this day is, just great and beloved by everyone. I have this really vivid memory of the Play-Doh commercial where you would like pump the Play-Doh through the person's head to be like hair or something. It was very disturbing. Number 8, Cabbage Patch Kids. Cabbage Patch Kids experienced their peak popularity in the mid-80s, becoming a massive craze, with parents lining up for hours to secure one for the holidays. By the 90s, while the initial insane frenzy had subsided, they remained a beloved toy, cherished for their unique, adaptable personas and the personalized adoption certificates that came with them. Into the 2000s, the brand saw a revival, tapping into nostalgia and introducing new lines to appeal to the next generation. Their enduring charm ensured they remained a classic Christmas gift, again, like many toys on this list, resonating with both children and collectors. The Cabbage Patch mania was out of control. I never had one. I thought those things were creepy. If I recall correctly, it had like a smell too, like a newborn baby smell. Maybe I'm mixing that up with another doll. But really, it was the eyes. I don't know what it was, but the eyes freaked me out. The same thing happened with a Molly doll I got, the Molly with the couch and the nose and the clock. I remember coloring over her eyes and tossing it to the back of my closet, never to be seen again. That doll was horrific vibes. Number 7, Xbox. The Xbox, which was introduced by Microsoft in 2001, quickly became a prominent player in the console wars of the 2000s, even though it was not present in the 90s. Its success was bolstered by its powerful hardware, integrated online gaming via Xbox Live, and exclusive titles like Halo, which became a cultural touchstone. Its release just before the holiday season made it a highly sought-after gift, and continued to be a popular choice throughout the decade, with the launch of the Xbox 360 in 2005, further cementing its status as a must-have item for gamers during the holiday seasons of the 2000s. Listen, I know the Xbox craze was wacky and wild, I'm aware, but I think there are more iconic gifts. You just have to hear me out. I took a stupid long amount of time organizing this list. I always take the most mundane, dumb shit so seriously. Whatever. Number 6, Matchbox cars. You see? Come on. These are way more popular than Xbox.
Hi, it's me again. I just wanted to chime in with a disclaimer. I am lumping all of the Matchbox cars, Hot Wheels, miniature vehicles, and miniature vehicle adjacent toys under the umbrella of Matchbox cars. I now understand that they are not all considered Matchbox cars. I just didn't want the toy car community to laugh at me or be offended because the majority of the images that I'm using are Hot Wheels. So yeah, my apologies if that grinds your gears.
Matchbox cars maintained their popularity in the 90s and 2000s as a staple of imaginative play for children. Their affordable price, wide variety of models, and the appeal of collecting different cars helped keep them relevant. Additionally, Matchbox tapped into the nostalgia of parents who had played with them as children, thereby continuing their presence in the toy market. These miniature vehicles were often a go-to stocking stuffer or affordable gift, ensuring that they remained a consistent presence under the Christmas tree during these decades. Onward to the top 5, the big dogs, the major contenders here, with number 5 being Tickle Me Elmo. Tickle Me Elmo became a sensational hit during the Christmas season of 1996, sparking a shopping frenzy seldom seen in toy history. I know I've said that things had frenzies, but this was like Beanie Baby mania and Cabbage Patch Kid level. Its interactive features where Elmo would laugh and shake when tickled captured the imagination of children and the attention of their parents. This led to widespread media coverage and even in-store rushes to purchase the limited stock. While its popularity normalized in the 2000s, the original Tickle Me Elmo remains emblematic of the 90s holiday toy craze. My parents told me about the pandemonium surrounding the whole activity of getting one of these things. I was a toddler, so I don't remember playing with it, nor do I remember if my parents even got it for me. I just know that the craziness surrounding it was talked about. And if the hunt for a Tickle Me Elmo caused pandemonium, the war for number 4 was absolutely nuclear. From one frenzy to another, number 4 is Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies soared to immense popularity in the 90s due to their collectible nature and the clever marketing strategy of limited releases, which created a sense of urgency and exclusivity. By the late 90s, they had become a cultural phenomenon, with collectors of all ages seeking to acquire rare editions, often as investment pieces. While their popularity waned by the early 2000s, during their peak, Beanie Babies were not just toys, but also financial assets, with some rare specimens fetching thousands of dollars, and they were a staple of holiday gift giving. If you weren't aware, I recently found out that Beanie Babies are basically worth nothing now, except that Princess Diana one. Good luck finding that one. I have a whole basket full, including my favorite, Richard. Pause. This is Richard. He's my favorite of the bunch. He'll just hang out here. We have made it to the top 3, and I feel like most of you can probably guess what the top 3 are.
My voice just got really high. I don't know why.
They're all givens and honestly can be interchangeable. But as I mentioned, this is just my personal ranking. And at number 3, Barbie. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, Barbie maintained her status as an iconic toy, consistently topping Christmas wish lists. Mattel capitalized on Barbie's popularity by diversifying the doll's roles and wardrobes, resonating with the decade's shifting cultural norms. Special holiday editions became collectors' favorites, while Barbie Dreamhouse and other accessories expanded the brand's universe. By constantly reinventing the Barbie line with contemporary careers, styles, and inclusive representations, Mattel ensured Barbie remained relevant and highly sought after during the holiday seasons across these 2 decades and beyond. I know earlier I said personally I was enamored with the Bratz doll, but I told you I am being as unbiased as I possibly can be, and looking at the bigger picture, Barbie is just the Goliath to the Bratz David. David's the small one, right? Yeah. Whatever. I feel like I made that same comparison in my Barbie Renaissance video. Whatever. Deja vu. Number 2, PlayStation. The PlayStation brand became a major force in gaming during the 90s and 2000s, especially around Christmas. Sony's PlayStation, introduced in the mid-90s, and its successor, the PlayStation 2, released at the turn of the century, were high on Christmas lists driven by their cutting-edge graphics and expansive game libraries. The PS2 became the best-selling console of all time, offering DVD playback and popular titles like Grand Theft Auto and Final Fantasy, which often coincided with holiday releases. Their marketing often targeted a slightly older demographic, including teenagers and adults, which broadened their appeal and ensured that PlayStations were in high demand each holiday season. Now, I am very aware that the PS2 is like the best-selling console of all time. I myself was Team PS2. I had the Midnight Club Dub Edition, the And One Street Ball, the Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, GTA 3, I had it all. Mostly due to a Hollywood video that went out of business in my city that my father took ample advantage of. But like Barbie and the grand scheme of things, I just don't think PlayStation is number one, and I'll get to why. One is probably super obvious now, but before I announce it, I do want to give some honorable mentions. Troll dolls with their gemstone Kyle XY coated belly button. Lisa Frank anything. Mary Kate and Ashley anything. Skip-Its Betty Spaghetti, whose hair I chewed on as a kid because I was a freak. As I mentioned previously, Sky Dancers, specifically those helicopter spinny toys. Snap bracelets, My Little Pony ponies, Beyblade, and Doodle Bears. And now, folks, number one, Nintendo. During the 90s and 2000s, Nintendo became a household name, especially during the holidays. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System captivated players in the early 90s, while later the GameCube and the innovative Wii, with its motion controls, became holiday must-haves. Blockbuster releases often timed for the holiday shopping season, featuring characters like Mario and Zelda. Nintendo's approach to family-friendly content, combined with a knack for innovation, solidified its consoles and games as holiday favorites, ensuring that Nintendo products were frequently at the top of wish lists. Now, why did I pick this for number one, you may ask? Well, it's very simple. The characters, really. Like I said, Mario and Zelda, obviously, but there's also Kirby, Donkey Kong, Link, Peach, Bowser, Pikachu, Ash. The Nintendo characters have become cultural icons with strong nostalgic pull. Nintendo is also known for its innovative hardware, like I mentioned, the Wii, which expanded the gaming market to non-traditional gamers, and by the way, the Wii was only just outsold by the Switch. And my final reason? Nintendo has been a major player in the gaming industry for a longer time, with its origins in the 1980s giving it a head start over PlayStation, which debuted in the mid-90s. But as I said before I hit the top three, Barbie, PlayStation, Nintendo, they could arguably all be respected at the number one spot. In my opinion, any of these could be respected at the number one spot, but I did my best. And there it is, my little sprinkle of nostalgia, a gift to you, the top 30 throwback toys. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and I am wishing you a safe and happy holiday.